Hi everybody, welcome back to Stu Maker. I'm Stu and I like to make things, and today this is another in my series where I take a kind of a classic art and then I kind of like, do my own thing with it. So let's just jump right into it, see what's up with it, kind of go from there. We got here my main man Diogenes, which was a Greek philosopher, kind of a funky fellow. And again, I'm just kind of borrowing the shape of stuff. I actually really like the way I did the tone and all that stuff, but this is just an exercise and all that stuff. It's not like a legit, but yeah, this one's kind of really fun to do. I really think that this drawing kind of spoke to me in a certain way. There's some that like the pose just really is really cool. And this was a really cool pose. I think, the original artist and the original painting was really a magnificente. The big skull, kind of not a huge fan of. I wish I had changed the hand placement a little bit because it looks kind of weird. It looks like he's holding it. He's kind of doing this weird thing, which is what Diogenes is doing, right? He's holding it. I think in terms of things I probably should have changed that, but I mean, I don't know. I was really focused on other stuff. You get my hatching technique. I really love hatching on drawings. Hatching is one of my favorite things ever in the universe. So this was just another in the long line of hatching. Let's see. I think first and foremost, this is my character Baphomet again. If you recall, he was in the previous video. I actually really love the design I did for that one, so I kind of carry that over here. Actually changed the armor just a little bit. I tend to do that every drawing. There's no consistent, like, this is what he looks like all the time. But I'm really obsessed with this kind of like turtleneck kind of cape situation going on, where it goes around his neck. And that's something I borrowed from the last one. And I think it looks cool here. I think first and foremost, this was really quick and easy for me. Like, got the pose, understood it, knew what I wanted to do with the character and what I wanted to do with that. But the biggest issue here was, you'll see, was the coloring. This one, I was also wanted like to push the character in what I had in my head. So in the story of this drawing, it's based off of one of the stories I'm working with him, and I wanted to kind of have like a visual representation of it. And I was going for like a Dia de los Muertos vibe, and so we got these kind of like funky colors, and we got putting the metal here and everything, and it's cool. I like that vibe, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't working together. And I think it's because of like Dia de los Muertos, they uses a lot of colors for like the skull design and all that stuff. And when you're trying to be like me, who tends to, I don't know, I tend to do like really kind of funky colors. I couldn't find a way to make it work if the character already had a lot of funky colors. Like, he's got the green, the purple, the orange. Like, those are really three real colors I really like. And then when it came down to it, I wasn't sure what the hell to do with the rest of it. I was like, what am I doing here? The shading was cool too. I like the shading. I think I ended up changing the shading, which we'll talk about later. Because there's two different types of shading, and I guess I'll talk about it now. There's shading where you kind of do like a darker, like multiply kind of thing. And there's shading where it's just like straight up black, which is a lot more comic booky. And we'll see what I do with it later. And let me know what you guys prefer. You prefer like more just like a natural, like just like a gradient kind of vibe, or would you prefer a, way more just straight up comic book where it's like black, I think there's room to do both. And as you can see here, I did like a white skull with the face thing. Not in love with it either, and with the black background with the gray and all that stuff just didn't work. And now we're trying the red background. I like drawing clouds a lot, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys have seen my art or anything, that tends to be something I like to do a lot. My backgrounds tend to be very impressionistic. Sometimes there's like a specific thing I have in my head that I want to get across, sometimes there isn't. The green skull does kind of stick out. I know some people liked it. Personally, me, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Oh, I'm loving what I'm doing here. What am I doing? I'm just looking at my own art. I'm trying to remember what I did. I added the candles to kind of add to this like seance vibe, and I thought I was really cooking with the red. But as you guys will see, color theory matters a lot, and not to undercut my own video. Oh, I love doing this like little weird line things. The rainbow effect, not my favorite. Oh, we added this dark red highlight there. Dark red shadows there, which was a choice. Like, this wasn't bad necessarily, but for me, I wasn't in love with it. also try to add like a blue just to contrast. I did literally everything under the sun and nothing was working. I tried different colors, I tried different things. Eventually I got to something that felt right for me, which was this one, which is like the purple background. Oh yeah, and I wanted to clean up all the shadows because I just felt like they were kind of a little arbitrary. But the orange candles really just, really, I think the candles and the background had to be different colors, of course. We're doing highlights here. I think I'm doing like a warm highlight, which I ended up getting rid of because I wasn't a huge fan of it completely. Something to definitely take into account. This isn't like a very simple process. Oh, here we go. We got like the darker things. Oh, it's gone away. What the hell? Okay, I think I'll mix and match in these, and we'll see kind of like what that looks like later. But yeah, there's still a minute left. How long I did for another minute? I'm trying to like remember right now. Oh yeah, I'm just doing adding little cross hatches to everything. I love hatching. It like potentially muddies up the drawing, but then I just love the roughness of drawings, you know? I feel like it is a joy to do things like that, and I don't know. It's personally really fun. I'm digging this version of it with like the dark purple background. I think that's like, again, within my wheelhouse of things I like, you know, which is like a very vibrant kind of background, and then the characters also doing their own thing. I don't know, there's something about it I really love. I love impressionistic. I like drawing clouds, you do that little puffiness, there is a little bit of a Bob Ross like chill out kind of vibe, you're just like, yeah, I kind of like this, oh, and here we add the dark. It probably looks better in the final than it is in this video, because this video tends to, for whatever reason, Procreate tends to like kind of like really crush the quality. This orange was interesting. Do I keep this? I don't remember if I keep this. Oh, then we added a green highlight. That's a choice. I think it's too much. I think I get rid of all of that because it just looks like I got rid of all of it. Good. I'm not a realistic artist, I tend not to do that kind of stuff. Okay, now there we go. Finish drawing 5 different ones. So I'll pull up the original, like, as I say this a bunch of times, this is the black and white background where he's got the purple thing. It's very clean. It's very digital. Not bad. I like the orange little kind of pouches belt thing, that utility belt. I'm a big fan of drawing utility belts. It's just very Batman, kind of like what they got in there kind of vibes. For me, the shoes kind of being this green, purple, orange is kind of fun. And again, I wanted to keep it to a simple like Halloween spooky colors. And the black, I don't know. I wonder if the black could have worked with the new background versus this, because this is kind of a little too abstract for what's going on here. And I feel like the character need to be grounded. So let's move on to the next one, which is this red one, but he doesn't have the red darkness on it. This one's cool. I like the little tentacle, like smoke kind of behind him. It's got this like little motion effect on it. It's cool. The red candles and the red background, it's too much red, I think. Maybe if I made those a different color, this red could have maybe popped a little bit more. But with the orange and the white and the purple, the green, it probably felt like it's too much. I kind of love kind of like the really square on this cloud at the top here. I like just it's kind of very, I don't know, just makes me think of like as a painter, like, I forgot what that thing is called. The chisel? No, not a chisel. Whatever. It's like this little metal thing, like a palette knife. Yeah, palette knife, there you go. And you just get a bunch of paint. You just kind of just... I've only used a palette knife once in my life. It was in my art class in high school with a really cool teacher. Sadly, he passed away, R.I.P. So I wonder if that's like kind of just like me going back to that a little bit. But I've always been a pen and marker guy. That was loud as hell. I've always been a pen and marker guy. Give me a pen and a marker, and we're there. I actually recently did a thing where I spent about a week just drawing physical media. So that'll be a new video. Look forward to that. Hopefully, next week or whatever. I'm trying to get these out weekly, so you guys can get content. Again, this one was okay. The red, I just felt like it wasn't speaking. Maybe the candles were blue. That way to mimic some of the blue yellow we're getting from the clouds. I think that would be probably a much better pastiche. This one is, I believe, the last one. Honestly, I love this one. I love the blacks. It feels much more comic booky. I think my big issue, honestly, is that we lose a lot of the green highlights. I wonder if maybe we can try to bring that back. But I think in terms of like, this feels a lot more like the shadows being so black and having so much hatching just makes this art feel a lot more like a bigger step forward. As much as I like the previous ones, I think the previous ones look milky. Does that make sense? I don't know. There's like a silky smoothness to the shadows. It like fits in, but then when you get to the black, it's like, oh god, here we go. This is like visceral. This is, and it works really fantastically, and I love it. I think this one is great. I think making the shadows being kind of like an orange color is kind of an interesting choice. And why is this Dia de los Muertos? Well, in the story that this picture theoretically take place in is, it's not a first story. It's definitely like more down the line story of this character. And at this point, I mean, there's no real, I don't, the skull doesn't fit that, but like in my mind visually, this is just what I see. Baphomet is kind of on the outskirts of things right now. he's got a lot to make up for some of the stuff he's been doing, and he's kind of self-exiled, and so he's kind of just, doing his thing, and he finds his village is like really cool, and yeah, I think potentially turning a new leaf, better or worse, we don't know, I won't say, but there is a sense of like progression in the character, and the Dia de los Muertos would be like a really cool design for like a final outfit of that story, and I like it. I think it's cool. It's an ode to my culture, because I am Latino. Dia de los Muertos is something I grew up a lot with as a kid, especially in Los Angeles, is where I live, and I think this was like a really nice homage to that, while also being my own thing and kind of like what I would do with it. The skull is like gigantic. I don't know why that skull's so big, but yeah, the skull I'm not super in love with, to be real honest here, but it's cool though. I mean, I don't hate it. Maybe he's conjuring something. I don't know. that's not in the story, at least not right now. It's just something I thought was cool to add to the picture, which is how it goes. And going back to the original design, which I believe I have here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Diogenes. I forgot the exact name of this one, which I'll put it in the video description, I suppose. If you don't know, Diogenes, it was an interesting Greek philosopher. He was kind of wild. He didn't believe in having a lot of things. He kind of was a big mockery to a lot of people. I mean, he mocked a lot of people, is what I mean to say. And he literally lived in a jar. He ended up getting killed by rabid dogs, I believe, because he'd never really bathed or whatever. He was really gross, but I think his whole philosophy was like, who needs stuff? Stuff is stuff. Who cares? Whatever. So, funnily enough, just an interesting character, and I think this painting was just really cool. I think, kind of inverting it and using it for my character Baphomet was kind of like a really fun kind of exercise there, because he's working on this like little lantern, whereas my guy's like conjuring something up, and it's kind of like an inversion of Diogenes in a way. I guess I could feel that Baphomet's very kind of like a materialistic guy in some ways. I guess the best way to explain him is it's like, what if Doctor Doom, Lex Luthor, and like, I don't even say Batman. Batman's like kind of like there, I guess, a little bit, but he is, for me, like an anti-villain. They're very villainous. He does things that are not great, but like sometimes he does good things that can be heroic in a way. And so this was kind of like a really fun kind of play on that. And yeah, that's the drawing, that's the pose. Color theory matters a lot. I know I don't go over it like a whole lot. I'm not going to do that. There's plenty of YouTube videos covering that. For me, I think, this was what mattered to me most, is getting that purple, orange, and green just right. Because I knew those were the three colors I wanted. And I kept trying things out, but I was like, oh, there's too many colors on his face. I don't know. But then, I think I found a good balance. So when you're working on your pieces, sometimes you don't have to go for something realistic. Sometimes you can go for what feels good. And I think that's something that a lot of artists sometimes forget. It's more of a feeling. I know there's like people who do like realistic drawings, which is like really cool. You follow your bliss. But for me, I tend to be a lot more like an impressionistic. Like, this is what I feel. This piece is what I feel. That's why I like the dark, the black shadows and all that stuff. It just feels more interesting. And yeah, the color went good. So there you go. That is my thoughts on that one there. I hope you appreciated that. If not, go to hell. I'm just kidding. But in either case, thank you for watching so much. I got a book called Excal. You know, I got my name on it and everything. And yeah, you can see it's about my card game and just art that I do in general. So if you like either of those two things, do check it out. You know, there you go. It's on Amazon. Look up Excal and you'll find it. EXCOL. EXCOWL. Jesus. There'll be a link down below. In either case, if you liked the video, like the video. If you disliked it. If you want to subscribe and be a good person, that'd be great. We are currently at 82 subscribers, and you know, who knows? Maybe your subscription can get us to 100. If we can get to 100, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. And if we get to 100, I'd like to do like some kind of challenge or something. That would be kind of fun. Or like a really big kind of like congratulations kind of thing. So it's like, oh, if we reach 100, we can do like, I don't know, 100 hours or 100 minutes or something like that, drawing something. Let me know what you guys think down below. What should I do for my big 100? Assuming it comes anytime soon. But either way, I appreciate it. If you like the video, definitely check it out. I'm going to do a lot more art stuff, a lot more stuff on my card game, and just other things. I have a video on like writing. So I've been writing a book, and I wanted to talk about like different writing software. So if that's something that interests you, I will definitely try to get that video done sooner rather than later. I've got a bunch of other videos, a bunch of other stuff coming in either case. So, peace.